What is up, guys? What is up? So today we're going to talk about Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce. He's been caught in lies. He's all over the Epstein files. He testified today, and Caroline Leavitt also talked about it with her press conference. But let's get into it, shall we? Boom! So I think this video was a few weeks old, but this video has been resurfacing over and over again because it clearly, I mean, it's just point blank obvious that he lied. He flat out lied. And I could show you the multiple emails to prove why he lied about this. Let's just listen to his explanation on how he decided not to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein.
So he gives me a tour in the living room, big living room. And then across from it is double doors. I assume it's the dining room.
Yeah.
And he opens the doors and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
Ooh.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
Really?
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Oh.
And so I look back at it as a gift.
Yes.
He gave me a gift
Yes.
of avoid.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
So
that's my story. A one and absolutely done.
Right. So I mean, that's an incredible story that you could pick up that he was a pervert.
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. He's gross. The guy's gross. This was not, the deep nuance of Howard Lutnick. This guy's gross.
Right. So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
No, they participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was.
Okay. Now this is interesting because he is accusing people like Bill Gates of participating. But according to the FBI, according to the DOJ, they didn't have any other clients. It was just Jeffrey Epstein. So he is contradicting what the DOJ is saying.
Get a massage, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Well, he actually continued to talk to Epstein after this. According to legal documents, emails, Epstein and Lutnick did business together and Lutnick vacationed on Epstein's island. Long after Lutnick claims they parted ways, and long after Epstein was known as a sex offender. And here are the emails. So after meeting with Jeffrey Epstein in 2005, Howard Lutnick said he vowed to never be in a room with that disgusting person ever again. Documents released today by Trump's DOJ say otherwise. So if you look down here from Howard Lutnick, hi Jeff. We're landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart/Anguilla on Monday at some point. Where are you located? What is exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? I have another couple, Michael and Marcy Linham, with me and on my boat, and each of us have 4 children. 2 16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. Thanks, Howard. This email was in 2012. If you thought he was gross, Howard, if that was the moment you told your wife, we're done. This guy's gross. He's sick. Why the hell would you bring your children to have dinner with them then? Do you see how this is just so damning for him? Howard Lutnick is a lying piece of shit. I'm not accusing Howard of being a pedophile. I'm accusing him of being a liar. Here's another email to Howard Lutnick. Good morning, Howard. Jeffrey wished me to pass along the below to you. Nice seeing you. Please read dot 3. This was in 2012. Nice seeing you? So Jeffrey saw him in 2012, but according to this interview, he was never going to talk to him again, never going to do business with him, nothing. So I believe that Howard, at the time he did this interview, thought, yeah, the Trump administration's not going to release anything. So I could just lie and convince the American people that, oh, I had nothing to do with him. It's just disgusting. What is this one? Epstein files released. Trump current Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick invited to Epstein fundraiser he hosted for Hillary Clinton in 2015. I would like to invite you to attend a very intimate fundraising event with Hillary Clinton, blah, 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 blah. Now, I don't know if Howard Lutnick went. He's obviously still communicating with them. And why did Jeffrey Epstein feel the need to invite Howard Lutnick to a Clinton event? See where I'm getting with this, guys? This is so strange. And 5 years later, in 2017, Jeffrey Epstein donated $50,000 to an organization in Lutnick's honor. Hi, this is from Retner David. Hi, Jeffrey. Many thanks for your incredible donation in honor of Howard Lutnick. Would you like to take an ad and offer your own words of congratulations in our commemorative journal? Are you able to join us at the event itself on December 11th? By the way, December 11th is my birthday. And would you like to take a table? Yeah. $50K for me? Hope PR is okay. This is so bad for Howard Lutnick. And like I said, I'm not calling him a pedophile. I'm calling him a liar. And obviously Donald Trump, when he comes out and says he doesn't want the files to come out because he thinks it's going to hurt people, he's obviously talking about Howard. He's talking about Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Elon Musk, because Elon Musk also caught in lies. So this does not look good for the Trump administration at all. And then this was also earlier, neighbor of Jeffrey Epstein, Howard Lutnick, who also went to the island, laughs whenever Trump is asked about the industrial grape of children by Epstein's circle. Okay, I've gone through a lot of the files. I've seen redacted photos of naked children. I've seen emails about torture, code words about torture, pedophilia, all of it on the files. Once you actually go on the DOJ website and see it for yourself, it changes your whole perspective. You ain't laughing about this shit. But Howard Lutnick thinks it's funny. Watch his reaction.
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but...
How arrogant. How arrogant. Here's another one. This was back, I think, in 2025. Standing next to Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, wingman, and pedo bro, I don't know if he's a pedophile, allegedly, right, is Epstein's neighbor and associate, Howard Lutnick, who apparently lived right next door, a few steps away. I suspect the reason why Lutnick starts laughing after Trump calls the Epstein files fake news is because he knows Trump is a pedophile. I don't know if Trump's a pedophile. I'm not going to accuse anybody of being a pedophile. There's no evidence that you could, convict somebody of that in these files. But there is evidence of a story and a picture being presented. So let's just watch his reaction.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been.
Trump doesn't understand why someone who voted for him, he doesn't understand why I want people held accountable. He doesn't understand why I want to know the truth. He is so out of touch, or he's covering it up.
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time.
It's not about that, Trump. It's about everybody else who was involved, you idiot.
He was never a big factor in terms of life.
According to the emails, he knew everybody. He knew everybody. He knew Bibi. He knew Xi. He knew Putin. He knew all the politicians in our country. He was involved in Ukraine conflicts. He was involved in everything. I don't know why Trump says this shit. It's so wrong.
I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier.
This is nothing compared to Russiagate. Nothing. And you had people during Russiagate, the same people that defended Donald Trump during Russiagate, are also criticizing him for the Epstein files. Why? Because people have integrity. You call balls and strikes. You analyze each freaking issue, on its own. This scandal, way bigger than Russiagate. It is way bigger than Watergate. Nobody's going to give a shit about Richard Nixon's Watergate after this. Nobody. Watergate is like preschool compared to this shit. This shit is insane. This is the biggest scandal of our lifetime. You are talking about the most powerful people in the world working with a pedophile with CIA and Mossad operations, sex trafficking 9-year-olds, and allegedly eating people, killing people, melting people, killing babies. We are talking about the most insane story of all time, and Donald Trump doesn't understand why we care. Give me a break.
Which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff.
Guys, the last 4 videos I dropped, was that boring?
Sorted, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like
I'm a bad person because I want to keep this going.
Like that going. But
And look at this guy, Howard Lutnick, the liar, laughing away.
credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
What a big fat L that was. And then Howard Lutnick also testified today in front of Congress. Let's just listen to this.
Lutnick, I think you understand the root of concern here. It's the way you described very emphatically your first encounter with him in his apartment, said you were disgusted, would never have any contact with him again. Did you, in fact, make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife, all together. We were on family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was anything untoward about that in 2012, I don't recall why we did it, but
Mr. Secretary, again, as I said,
He lied. And he just admitted that he lied right there. Oh boy, this is so bad. And then this is, obviously the reporters are going to grill him on this.
people about your interactions with Epstein?
Did you have any financial involvement with Jeffrey Epstein?
Step back.
Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty to sex crimes?
Come on, give us some space. Give us some space. Give us some
What do you say to the Democrats calling on for you to resign?
Give us some space.
Mr. Epstein, people of your level in the British government have been forced to resign. Will you resign?
Give us some space. Give us some space.
Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty?
I look forward to testifying today.
Did you mischaracterize your relationship with him?
Some space.
Why did you say you found him gross but still kept in contact with him?
What do you say to those who are calling for you to resign now?
Are you willing to speak to Congress about this?
I'm going to speak to Congress right now.
Do you expect to be asked about Epstein?
Why did you mischaracterize
People about your interaction?
And to those people that are saying, the only reason the Democrats are investigated is because they hate Trump. Obviously, I mean, wouldn't you, if you're a Democrat, try to expose this? I mean, this is like the biggest bombshell kryptonite for the Trump administration. And think about this also. The Democrats today, right now, you know, they're led by like the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's, the Bernies. Say what you want about them. They don't have anything to do with this. Their hands are clean out of the Epstein files. So but that's the reason why the Democrats are pushing this, because they know that Trump's administration, the people that Trump has put into power, those people have blood on their hands. So obviously it's more harmful to the Republicans than it is the Democrats, because Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, they're not in power anymore. So the Democrats, they don't care if Bill or Hillary go down because they're not the future of the party. Bill's going to die in probably next 15 years. You know, he's old as hell. Now, I will give Trump credit on this. If Trump lost the election in 2024, we probably wouldn't have seen any of these files. But Trump is like, it's almost like Trump is put in this position to be sabotaged in order for us to get the files. And I hate to say this, but I think the next step for us to get more answers is if the Democrats win the midterms. The Democrats win the midterms, they impeach Cash, Pam Bondi, impeach Trump, Lutnick, all of them. And if that happens, you're going to get more answers. But if the Republicans win the midterms, they're just going to keep trying to cover this up, and they're going to try to destroy Thomas Massie. My video yesterday on Thomas Massie, I encourage you guys to watch that because that's also a huge part of this story. So, oh my God, this is just so crazy. What else do we got here? Okay, let me get these clips in order here. So Caroline Leavitt, here she is.
And that remains true. And this call, if it did happen, corroborates exactly what President Trump has said from the
She's talking about, okay, I'll show you the email in just a sec.
Beginning. And I'm sure many of you, when you read that alleged FBI report, probably thought to yourself, wow, this really cracks our narrative that we've been trying to push about this president for many years. So we're moving on from that.
So she's talking about this email right here. Let me find it, sorry. She's talking about this email right here. It's not an email, I'm sorry, it's an FBI tip. So Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil and to focus on her. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein. And this was apparently in 2006. So apparently in 2006, Donald Trump called the cops or the FBI or whoever. And it was the police. He called the police and said that Ghislaine Maxwell's like the head of the snake, I guess. And this is why I don't think this puts Trump in the clear at all. Republicans are trying to use this one tiny document and say, see, nothing to see here. I think this just has more questions. Because if this was Trump's attitude in 2006, why isn't this Trump's attitude now? Why don't we have Trump do an interview and give an explanation? Why did you call? What did you see, Trump? What do you know? Because if we're going to take this document and believe it 100%, that means that Donald Trump knows what happened on that island. And if Donald Trump calls the police and says he knows stuff about Jeffrey Epstein, and then 20 years later he's president of the United States covering it up, that means that he knows in his mind that there is some sex trafficking happening, and he doesn't want it to come out. This actually makes him look worse. This isn't no smoking gun. But conservatives are trying to paint it like that. Let's see. I'm just going to go here. I got some more Caroline Levitt to show you guys. They also asked about Lutnick here.
It's Caroline. Secretary Lutnick today was testifying on the Hill, and he said that he had visited Epstein's Island in 2012 with his wife and children, and that's after he said that he had cut ties with Epstein, and Justice Department documents show that he was in contact with Epstein through 2018 over messages. So does the White House stand behind Secretary Lutnick right now, or given what he has said today, has there been any shift in how the White House is viewing Secretary Lutnick's performance?
No, Secretary Lutnick remains a very important member of President Trump's team, and the president fully supports the secretary. I will just point out that there are a lot of wins in the news this week that people in this room have not asked about, because you continue to ask questions about the same subject, so let me point them out for you. Again,
look at her face. She has totally changed since the beginning of this administration. She just looks defeated. She doesn't understand. It doesn't matter if you freaking start world peace. If you're covering up for a sex pedo operation, that's just enough to bring the whole thing down. I'm sorry. I can't just say, oh, Trump did this good, so I'm just going to ignore the Epstein files. I can't do that, guys. I can't go that way. I can't blindly support the administration after this. I just can't. It's so bad.
On Friday, the Dow shattered 50,000 for the first time ever. This week, the American Society of Plastic Surgeons came out in opposition to gender mutilation surgeries for children. They are the first major medical group to do so.
Those are all just distractions because they know how bad this is for Trump. Here's another one that she had.
Their loss.
And on Ghislaine Maxwell, is the president going to rule out a pardon for her? In her testimony, deposition yesterday, her legal team seemed to be making a case, again, for a pardon from the president.
Again, this is not something I've discussed with the president recently because, frankly, it's not a priority. He's focused on many of the issues that the American people are dealing with and providing solutions to those issues. So I haven't spoken with him recently. Last time we did speak about it, he said it's not something he's considering or thinking about. Go ahead, Bloomberg. Their loss.
Well, at least he's probably not going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's see. I think let me make sure I got all these. Oh, damn it. Sorry, give me one sec. Oh, gotta block that out. That's, this is in one of the files here that I saw today. This is disgusting. This is a picture of what looks like an 8-year-old girl, and she's posing naked for the camera. This is why I'm just so disgusted by this whole thing. Honestly, it's just so sickening, the whole thing. I'm trying to make sure I got all the clips for you guys. I did. I guess I'll end it on this. You have people on Twitter that are supporting the president no matter what, like Cat Turd here. Cat Turd posted, "Masshole" instead of Massey. Caught in yet another lie. They released all the names. Talk about delusion. Obviously, Cat Turd is an older guy who doesn't know how to use the computer and read the files. Cat Turd, why don't you watch my videos and look at all the redacted names? Here's another one. Laura Loomer. Why is Republican Congressman Massey campaigning against President Trump and spreading pedophile lies about Trump administration cabinet members like Howard Lutnick, alongside communist and Islamist lover Ro Khanna? Are you kidding me, Laura Loomer? Are you kidding me? So everything I just covered in the beginning of my video is a lie? I'm actually getting kind of disgusted with some of the administration members. Here's another one. Cat Turd. The real masshole is starting to come out. Psycho. So he just paused it when his eyes were open and he thinks he's going to smear Massey now. I commented, bro, huge L take. Massey is exposing the swamp. How could he be against that? I tried to ratio him, but you know, it's hard to ratio when you only got so many followers. Here's another one, Gunther Eagleman. I don't get it. Why do Democrats protect pedophiles so much? This isn't a Democrat or Republican issue, you idiot. It's like these people live on a different planet. It's like no matter what comes out in the files, no matter how much Trump tries to spin it, these people are just going to defend him and do mental gymnastics no matter what. These people are no better than the people that tried to cover Joe Biden for having dementia, except this is way worse. Guys, this scandal is a million times worse than the Democrats lying about Joe Biden's mental decline. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore because this is just so damning. It's so damning. That's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you follow me, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit the bell on my YouTube channel at Townsley R. And follow me on X at Ryan Townsley. And this is Townsley R signing out. Bye-bye.